Hey, it's been a while. This is just a short little thing to kind of just fill people in, and just because I'm bored, I thought I'd make a video. So here's the deal: I'm haven't been doing anything really with my program. I've been pretty lazy. I'm not gonna lie. I did start. I have 40 sessions with Sean that are prepaid from a trade that we did with my elliptical. So I started seeing him again. Excuse me, 2 weeks ago. I couldn't go last week for a million different reasons, but excuse me, really? Anyway, let me just start with this. I've been going through a lot, so I've been kind of blah. And I had a job for 6 years. I left a job of 13 years to go to this job that I've had for 6 years. Steady job, secure job, good pay, benefits, the whole thing. And then I had a friend of mine that I've had for about 16, somewhere between 15 and 17 years, give me a call out of the blue and ask me if I would be willing to come work for him at his company. So, to be honest, my gut instinct was no, don't do it. And I never go with my gut instinct, which I always say to myself, go with your gut instinct, but then I don't. So for about over 30 days, easily, probably closer to 45, 50 days, something like that. I mean, we discussed things and we got things worked out, and he was going to pay me the same and do my benefits. And his office is just down the street from my house. So it was just a few blocks. So that would save me on gas. And I said, are you sure? Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I gave my notice, and I gave a lot of notice so I could train somebody. And so I went to work for him. And on my sixth day there, well, actually, it was 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I guess it was my sixth day, seventh day. He said, I'm sorry, I made a mistake, and I am not prepared to have somebody work here that doesn't know a bunch of stuff about this kind of business, and I don't have time to train you. And so I'm really sorry, but I'm going to, basically have to let you go. So after 20 plus years of working steadily, I am unemployed, which doesn't make me really happy, obviously, because it's not a good position to be in this economy. And at my age and with this weight, in San Diego, California, where everybody's like, oh, yay, I'm a beach bunny. But I have to, I keep saying I can't preach it if I don't practice it. And I preach that God is in control, that God ordains, that God allows, that I have strong faith that can't be shaken. My faith won't be shaken. I can't say that I completely trust and fully surrender my life to the Lord and then turn around and be like, oh, how dare you? Because it's just hypocritical to the max and to the max. So I have just really surrendered to the fact that God has a reason for this. He allowed this in my life for a reason. He ordained it. He allowed it, whatever you want to say. I did go through a moment where I thought, wow, another Christian has screwed me over. And why doesn't that surprise me? But then I thought, you know what? That's just the devil coming in and trying to make me mad, and I'm not going to have it. And I know that's not a good thing to say. Maybe it doesn't sound nice, but the fact remains is that I have never been more betrayed or hurt or screwed over by non-Christians as I have by Christians. And I believe that the reason for that is because there's nothing that the enemy loves more than to come into the family of Christ and cause division and cause strife and arguments. And Leo always said there was this painting that had a big wall. It was the world with a big wall. And on this side it said, unbelievers, and they're picking up rocks and stones and bricks and throwing it over the walls at all the believers that were on this side. And all the believers were picking them up and throwing them at each other. And unfortunately, that's the case because we're in a huge spiritual battle on a daily basis. And we have a very powerful enemy that comes along on a regular basis and tries to break us up and cause division and cause strife and make us look at things through the eyes of the world rather than through the eyes of Christ. And so while I did have that thought popped in my head, I let it pop right back out again, because the fact remains is God allowed this in my life for a reason. I need to grow. I need to be stretched. I need to change. I need to learn something. He has something else for me that's maybe something more of what I would like to do. I want to help people in some way. And I know most people want you to have degrees and go to school and have papers and all this, but I don't know what it is. So I'm open to the Lord. I'm applying for a few things here and there that I'm qualified for, but I'm just really praying that the Lord's just going to bring to me what He has for me. I don't want to force anything. So that's what's going on. I'm unemployed, and I am very, 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 very blessed and grateful that I have a mother who listened to my grandfather, her father, and did with money what you're supposed to do. Because of that, she is able to help me. I have some money put aside that I can live off of, and luckily I do live here with my mom, and she is very supportive, and she's handling this. Well, she wasn't handling it very well at the beginning, but she's handling it very well, and she's being very supportive, and I'm really grateful for that. And I have a lot of prayer. But if you pray and you're watching this, you can pray for me too. And I just trust God. And so I've been going through a lot of stuff, and then I kind of felt like I was getting sick, and I'm like, what's this? Because I haven't been sick in like 8 years, so it was all foreign to me, and I was like, what is this weird feeling I have? But I think it might be allergies. That's what people keep telling me, but I don't know. My nose is kind of stuffy, and my throat's been a kind of weird, but I'm not sick. So I've been really, really tired and run down, though. I think it's there's a lot of things that have been going on the last few months, and I think that this just kind of made it all boom, like just come together into this whole bam. And so I would say, I'm on these mountaintops, with the Lord, and then you go down to the valleys with the Lord, because that's what life is about. And I spent a lot of time on the mountaintops lately, and I felt it coming a few weeks ago, and so down into the valley, and that's where God does his refining, and that's where he does his work on you, and that's where I know that the only person that I have in that valley with me 100% of the time is Jesus. And it's me and Jesus, as that's how I get through everything. And he tends to throw everything at me at one time. It's kind of like, hey, you're going great, boom, let's see, how much can we throw on you? He's not going to give me more than I can handle, and I know that. And I know he's going to make a way out for me. I know that I can start trudging up the hill. But there's a lesson to be learned in this valley, and there are things that he is throwing at me right now, with myself, with my weight, with my life, with my decisions, with friends, with family, with everything. And so it's just time for me to be in it and to see things the way he wants me to see them, and to make the changes he wants me to make. And then I'll put on my little hiking boots, and I'll start trudging up the hill. And it's like I said, I want to see my valleys as just upside down mountains. So I'm still on a mountaintop, I'm just upside down. And that's fine, because he's going to sustain me. And so far, he has given me the strength to not fall into the dark little hole that I used to live in. I'm not living in pity party land. I'm not falling into the whole why me, and how could this happen, and how unfair, and what did I ever do? And because I've done plenty, I'm sure. But I'm not falling into that. I'm not giving into the enemy. I am focusing on Jesus. I'm focusing on the Lord and what he has for me. And I'm knowing that this is something he wants in my life right now for a reason. And it's going to be awesome. And he has a huge blessing for me in the end. So I just want to encourage anybody out there that if you are going through a time like this, just know that if you have the Lord, you're not alone, and there is a plan, and you don't have to say, why me? How unfair? All that kind of stuff. You can focus on the fact that, wow, how cool that God cares about me enough that he's putting me through this just so that I can change more, so I can be more like him, and I can be closer to him, and I can depend on him more. Because when I fully surrender to him, that's when life is so much easier. Because if I keep my fingers out of things, and I keep my own little control issues, if we all have control issues of some sort, but if I'd stay out of it, there are so many things that would have been different in my life, in all of our lives. So I just want to encourage you today that if you are a Christian, God is in control. You can have faith in that. You can believe and trust in your Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, to see you through the fire, to see you through the storm, to bring you through the waters. You're not going to drown. You're not going to burn up. You're just going to have to go through it. And there's something in there that's amazing that the Lord has for you. And if you're not a Christian, I would just pray right now that you would be willing to accept the Lord. Just ask Jesus into your heart so that you can have this peace through the storms, like Christians have. And if you want to call me or text me or message me, and if you need prayer or anything like that, just let me know. Okay? I think that's it. And here comes my mom with the dog. So I'm going to cut this off now. It's kind of long. Okay. Love you guys. Thanks. Bye.